that we would walk in His ways, that we would walk in good works, that we would walk in the light. He talked about this, he used this word often enough. And so he transitions, okay, to how we are to live life, that we should walk in these good works. Because we're designed as God's work of art, masterpiece, we then walk in these good works. He has prepared. Do you know that God has prepared something in advance for you to do? I mean, it's pretty amazing. You look at this verse. I mean, let that your mind simmer into that word for a bit. I mean, God has done a work of art through you, in you, and then He's prepared something for you. Some of us don't know it yet. Some of you're already fulfilling that. You just need to understand, okay, this is what I have been designed to do. That will be my prayer for every single one of us, because it's the worst thing in life is to live life and not know your purpose. You're barely and merely existing. That's the worst thing. And so God has prepared something for you. You're not just to clock in time every day and work and earn some money and then sleep at night and get the stuff that you can accumulate and then do that again the next day, until you're 60, 70, 80, 90, however long you live in planet Earth. And then that's it. There's something beyond just that. God has something in store and prepared for you. But He had to make that foundation. Salvation is not Jesus plus good works. Salvation is Jesus plus nothing. Okay, because that's the wrong equation for some. They think, okay, to be able to get salvation, it's good to have Jesus, but I need to add good works to what He's done. Jesus said, it is finished. Tetelestai. Everything, it's been paid for. You don't need to add. But what is it? It's Jesus plus nothing. You add nothing to what He's done. That's what brings salvation. And then because you're saved, remember, motivation changes. You've been transformed. The heart's been transformed. Then good works will come. Then as a result, good works will follow. Okay? Now, question. How do we walk into these good works that Ephesians chapter 2 verse 10 tell us? That's when we'll slide into chapter 4. Chapter 4, all right, is important because if it's all just chapter 1 and 3 that we're talking about, it's going to be, if it's just chapter 4 to 6 that we talk about without chapter 1 and 3, then it'll just be do's and don'ts. It'll just be all rules and regulation. Okay? But if it's all just chapter 1 to 3, it'll be just cheap grace without any commitment to righteousness or a demand for morality. Okay? Both have to come together. And that's why in all the epistles of Paul, you will see he's going to talk about the indicative and the imperatives. Indicative meaning what Christ has done. This is what Jesus has done. Okay? Colossians chapter 3. You've been raised with Christ. Therefore, set your minds on things above. That's the indicative. The imperative would be, what should we do? Since you've been raised with Christ, then the imperative, set your minds on things above. Don't look at earthly things. Don't get focused on things that are here on planet Earth. And you'll notice that as you read the scriptures, the imperatives he will give. But it also is preceded, or after that, would be the indicative. Now, Ephesians 4:17 says, now this I say, and I testify in the Lord, that you must no longer walk. There's the word again. No longer walk as the Gentiles do in the futility of their minds. He's saying, don't live this lifestyle anymore because you said you've left this lifestyle. Don't go back there anymore. And some of you need to hear this message because you're going back to the pigsty. You're going back like that prodigal son. This was where I was. God plucked me out of that situation. And whether that's sin, adultery, fornication, wrong business practices, and yet you're getting sucked into that pigsty again. Guess what? You don't have to go back there.